This is the modern Pessima touring car, and we're going to be doing a lap around Nordschleife. Now this is not going to be an easy task because, despite being front-wheel drive, the suspension is tuned very stiff. There's also very aggressive torque understeer and very touchy brakes. If we had brake fade, that would be the four horsemen of a terrible time on any racetrack. Fortunately, you can manage some of this with feathering the throttle. Helps you pull through turns and not get thrown quite as aggressively over bumps, providing you time it correctly and use the correct amount of throttle. Downforce is pretty decent, as well as handling, besides those problems. I missed it, I think. Yeah. But you can take that flat out if you get it just right. And it's also pretty casually able to take the sweeping left-hander here flat out as well. Of course, we gotta be careful with the brakes afterwards. This is a car that would benefit greatly from an adjustable brake bias, because it can lock up the front wheels and the rear wheels depending on what you're doing. It's really just kind of frightening. Missed my intended apex just a tiny bit. Another interesting quirk is the power curve. Drops very aggressively past 8k RPMs. So in many cases, it's better to shift before redline. The difference is from like second to third. The early gears, they're so wide that it's still better to use almost a redline shift point. Okay, here we want to really be careful not to get thrown around. There we go. A little bit of a late apex. Sometimes I like to do 2 braking zones there. But there it worked out better to just stay trail braking. And we really want to be careful through here again. This is very hard on suspension. Could have kept easily like 6 more miles per hour if the car had been friendly over the bumps, but it was just understeering too hard. Yeah, when you catch that camber at the same time that you have the right amount of throttle control, it definitely whips through turns. This is all easy going. No real threat here. You do want to slow down just a tiny bit here, though. Probably keep a tiny bit more speed if you don't catch that bump, but with that bump, I probably would have flown off the track otherwise. Second gear was probably unnecessary there. No, I have not been having a good time with the carousel in this car. In that second half, I literally turned too much. You can just throw it through there, well, full throttle, but before that, it's just, it doesn't want to turn in. Tried to straighten my steering just a tiny bit too early there. Here we want to use all the track, while contending with the very stiff suspension. It's nice to stay out here so you can really widen the turning radius of this corner here. Probably a 4th gear turn. I keep doing that, if I'm honest. Here the bottoming out is scary, so we want to really set up for this, as well as the understeer. We don't want to be trying to corner over the dip in that part of the track. Here we just hold on. It's not fast enough to be too dangerous. There we set up nicely for a good average speed through here. Using the throttle to keep it stable through the mini carousel. And here we really want to make sure we don't miss this apex here, because there's a ton of camber. And if you catch that camber, you can go much faster. If you miss it, you might have to drop out of the power onto the fastest straight. Well, the longest straight. There is a part where you're going much more downhill, so you can really pick up speed there too. Yeah, tops out around 156. The power curve drops off too hard for you to gain any more speed, despite having more room. This can be a very late braking maneuver, so try not to mess it up. Especially with the suspension. Oh my god. Okay, we're alive. And there you go. I don't know if another lap was worth 7/10, but it does put it within, I think it's about 12 seconds? 13 seconds of the slowest hill climb car, which isn't too bad. If you'd like to see something even faster than this around the Nordschleife, I'm putting up a card with the slowest and fastest hill climb laps. Thanks for watching.